Hello, everyone. It is Felicia Bender, the Practical Numerologist. In today's video, we are going to talk all about the number seven, when and if it shows up as a challenge number for you in your numerology profile. So, if it shows up as one of your four challenge cycles. So, this isn't just a random thing that you're just like, well, what is. I know I have challenges. So you do have specific challenges in numerology. And specifically, we're speaking of Pythagorean numerology. So if you are unsure what that might be, please pause this video for one moment. Take a look in the description box. There's a video there that you can quickly watch that will go over what these cycles are, what they represent, how to understand them. And then, second of all, how to calculate yours. And these are very specific to you. It's a very individualized thing. And also, it will show you and tell you how to calculate the timing. All right, so once you know that you have particular cycles, when do they show up? What is the time frame? All right. So other than that, what I'm going to say is that I am making a crass, wild, and crazy assumption that if you're clicking on this video, you know that you are either experiencing a seven challenge currently, have in the past, and would like to have some context around that, or that you will be experiencing one in the future and would like to be forewarned and forearmed. So we're going to get right into it. We are going to dive into the number seven challenge. And when you experience the seven, it is challenging you and teaching you all about trust. So this is a cycle of time, a period of time where all of this comes at you to teach you, to challenge you with all of the elements of the number seven. So trust is if I had to choose one word, and I did, one word, it would be trust. And yet the seven is about spiritual evolution, spirituality, depending on, again, that's a very overarching word, right? And yet when you are experiencing a seven at any time numerologically, it is going to bring in a level of spiritual growth. And it's about spiritual growth. It's about trust, openness, vulnerability. It's about analyzing and overanalyzing. It's about collecting data. It's about learning, knowledge seeking, and asking the deeper questions. The why am I here? What is this all about? Is this even real? How do I understand it? It's often a time where your values, your belief systems, all kinds of things begin to be rerouted. You begin to question things in a much deeper, more substantial way. So the primary lesson here is trust, and how can that show up? It can show up where you experience situations that challenge your sense of belief and your sense of trust. What that might be, what your spouse has an affair and you believed that they weren't, they told you they weren't, or you had that trust, whatever, that's broken. You have an experience where you have a traumatic thing happen with a health concern or with a family member or something that really pulls the rug out of your belief in God or your concept of source, the universe, that you feel betrayed by that in some way, shape, or form. This can also happen. So you must overcome rejecting what cannot be proven during this time. It's also a time where you're often confronted with developing your intuition, trusting it, opening to it, not shutting it down. There is skepticism about spiritual matters during a seven challenge. Often people who enter into a seven challenge don't have a belief system that supports a belief in God, in source, in the universe, in whatever concept that you might have about something greater than ourselves. And so it will push that over towards you, where you will be offered I don't know, offered these opportunities to open up to that. So there is a skepticism, again, about spiritual matters, and you can cut your connection off with your intuition, with yourself in this way to block that. So these can be things that pile up in terms of challenges if you have a 7 challenge. The opportunities, though, here are that you will learn to move past the intellect and into the esoteric side of life, whatever that might mean to you. Faith in yourself and in a higher sense of purpose is to be developed during this time. There are chances to understand and practice humility and devote yourself to spiritual growth. Usually, this is something that's mandatory, is that either you shut it all off and go the superficial route, or you open up to other ideas, other concepts that have challenged you in the past in terms of, I would never believe that. I would never do that. I mean, it could be a time where you have a health concern that is not being answered or cured or met successfully by traditional medicine. And you might, out of sheer desperation, turn to alternative means to deal with it. And it opens up a whole new realm for you. Those are the sorts of things. That's just an example of what could possibly happen as a challenge here. And the challenge is ultimately a gift. Obviously. So the issues here can be that you can struggle with repressing emotions and your connection to spirit. You might isolate yourself or feel this vast sense of being alone in the world, being different, just being out of step with everything. Seeking a community where you can explore your inner world is quite key during this challenge, is to understand that you don't have to go it alone and to surround yourself with other people who might also be asking similar questions about themselves and about the world that you are asking yourself at this time. I always want to remind you that even though this is a challenge and it is in many ways a weaker link that you have in your life and in your world, when you take that weak link and you develop it into a strength, that is where it is really, I call it the key to your castle, because it begins to open doors in your life that you didn't even know were shut. It opens a whole new realm of possibility when you change, when you really work successfully with that challenge.